What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, this is working and sounding better. I got one of my old gaming headsets out, and it wasn't a cheap one, so hopefully, it works better than my laptop mic and my other mic. But this thing's a beast, too, so I don't know if it's going to pick up a bunch of white noise. It just picks up everything. I wanted to bring this to some people's attention too, because I know that the vast majority of this community only looks at AMC. The vast majority of our figureheads, if that's what you want to call them, only really look at GMC or AMC, and if they do have GME up at the same time, they're really not paying attention to it. And again, this is the way you want to really be looking at charts, is on top of each other. It's a lot easier to line up the patterns and the lines and whatever you're looking for and drawing indicators on everything. It's easy to match up specific patterns. But we have AMC and GME, and I just threw Nokia in there for good measure. Excuse me. And we've already looked at it before, and like I said, these are never going to be 100% identical because they can't do that. There is going to be buying and selling that can't be accounted for, but still they could not 100% manipulate all the stocks the same way, because then it would just be very, very, very obvious. There would be no margin for error there. If someone were to come along and say, it looks like you're manipulating the stock. Oh, how so? Well, everything is exactly the same, and the only thing that can do that's a computer. Oh, shit. But like I said, the narrative has already been created for them to manipulate this, and if anyone comes knocking, they literally have everything they need on YouTube to go, this isn't us. Go look at the community, go look at their figureheads, go look at what they said. Their community lost faith in them after June and started selling off. Like, what do you think was going to happen? But anyway, these on the right side, 6 over here, are ETFs. And if you don't know what an ETF is, it's basically just a basket of stocks. Many people trade in for long-term trading. And certain brokers and independent brokers and big fancy money-making stock market gurus put together ETFs for people to invest in, and typically they do well. Like I said, they're long-term for the most part. Throw your money in there, you're looking at an annual percentage increase in your gains, not anything short-term. But I know that when you're looking at these guys right here, they don't exactly look like these over here. But I'll show you something here in a minute. But if you look at them the way they're sitting right now, they all vastly look a lot alike. Like all of them look a lot alike. Again, not going to be identical, but you got your dip here, little camel humps here, the little peak up here, downward trend along the here, same thing, downward hump, up to a peak, down, up. You just got to look at them, that's it. But all of these house AMC, a lot of it. That's primarily what is in these ETFs, is many shares of AMC. And this is what started to happen a couple weeks ago, when everyone was like, how are they still shorting? How are they still getting shares? How are they still doing blah, blah. These very intelligent individuals, which, that's the misconception out there with everyone. Oh, these hedge funds are stupid, they're dumb, look at it. No, they are very, very smart. They are, the majority of them, well, maybe not the majority of them, but at least a few people in every one of those buildings is smarter than all of us combined. They have someone on the payroll there for that purpose, just for that purpose, to be a brain. And they know what they're doing, and they started shorting these ETFs. So instead of borrowing stock directly, which a lot of banks started upping margin requirements, or they were already significantly over leveraged and hadn't returned back enough shares compared to what they borrowed, they found another way here, and they started shorting these ETFs significantly, which is why they all move the same, because That little algorithmic smart-ass AI over there is, shorting the shit out of all these at the same time to, in turn, drive the price of those bad boys down. And GME too. But, if I see, and I can see this, like me looking at these just because of what I look at on a regular basis, and because of just, like I said, my love for technology, my love for all things tech, all things programming, coding, IT, networking, everything. I can see exactly how IWM looks just like AMC. You don't see it, doesn't look like it to you. And I'm going to show you real quick, once I change something, how it's going to possibly blow your mind and prove the manipulation even further here. But watch how similar these look when I start changing the dynamic of the candles. What is that starting to look like? Starting to look like that little weird W over here. Another dip, then a little hump up, a little down, come up to a peak, come around, start moving its way down. All of them start to look more and more like these over here when you change the dynamic of how they're laid out. You got your little W kind of formed, coming up to a peak, coming down, little hiccup right here, that little cup, there's a little cup here. If I were to crush that down, you can already see it, but all of these start lining up. These are a little fucked up when you get into like some of these, the layouts, some of these, the candles, the volume's not nowhere near as much as it is in other ETFs, so it's more like dots is what you start seeing instead of full-blown buying and selling candles like these. But still, yeah, these ones I didn't think were going to look as pretty because they're all a bunch of dots. Either way, not a big deal. These ones don't have quite as much as like IWM and IWN does of AMC. But still, it's all there. It's all been there. It's been in front of our faces this entire time. This is how they are still shorting AMC significantly by using ETFs. There was something I was trying to find, and I'm having some issues really putting it into words with the convertible bonds that they were brought up when Adam Aaron pulled that S3. And everyone was like, oh, no, that's wrong. You can't use convertible bonds and blah, blah, blah to do that. And I got news for you. You can convert any fucking thing you want into any stock that you want in the stock market. If it's something that has value, like bonds, commodities, whatever, and you want to convert that shit into shares of something, you most definitely can do that at any time for the most part. I still want to look more into the S3 thing because a lot of people just kind of blew over it. And then Adam Aaron came out and was like, yeah, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And I by no means am like an Adam Aaron hater. I'm just, again, I'm older. I've seen people, I know how they are in situations. I've been certain people in situations. I've been around big money. Adam Aaron's job at the end of the day is not to be your best friend. It's to protect his money and protect his company. And right now, we as a community are his company. We are his money. So yeah, he's gonna look us in our eyes and tell us that he's our best friend. But yeah, I've been there before and I've seen that before. Because my initial thought when he wanted those 25,000 shares that could not be issued or would not be issued until 2022, which I was trying to read through, and I lost track of time one day and didn't finish it, the entire prospectus and how it was laid out, because there was 25 million FTDs that just showed up like right around that time, and it just didn't line up. To me, it was strange, and my initial thought was, yeah, maybe maybe Adam Aaron won't have them issued until 2022, but once they're approved, or even if they're not approved yet, he could already go ahead and start on paperwork for loaning them to get money for them and raise capital that way. And by the time 2022 rolled around and the shares actually came out, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, this shit happens you're already looking at it. You're looking at naked shorts, which that technically would be, essentially issuing out 25 million shares on loan that he doesn't quite have yet, but he is going to have them. And it's all about saving his company. It's all about raising capital while he can. And that's the biggest issue I have is I just don't trust big money. None of them. Even BlackRock. Everybody's all, oh, BlackRock's on our side. Vanguard's on our side. We have hedge funds that are on our side. We don't have hedge funds that are on our side. We have hedge funds that are invested in this like we are, that are long on it, but it ain't got shit to do with us. They're not sitting here like, we're holding on to these for these guys. We want them to get rich. Vanguard and BlackRock don't give a fuck about you or me or anyone else. There's significant evidence right now that all of this right here, all of this and the shorting taking place in it is a direct result of BlackRock. BlackRock creating these ETFs and pumping more AMC into these things so that Citadel and whoever else wants to can short it, and inexpensively too. It doesn't cost much to be able to do it. It's kind of crazy. Again, if you guys, I think Charlie made a video on it. I'm pretty sure he did, talking about a lot of this. I know he can't keep his brain organized, and it's because he's so intelligent. I get it. He's scattered and tries to put everything out. He finds out as soon as he finds out, tries to get it out there. But I'm pretty sure he did like a thorough DD into what was going on with BlackRock and the ETFs and shit. But it still doesn't even really make sense. It's that type of shit that just, if you don't know about it, it's very difficult to learn about it. And you can't just call up BlackRock and be like, hey, I had a question about this ETF you have, and get the answers that way. But either way, I wanted to bring that side of the story to this. The ETFs, all these are different ETFs, all of them, but they all house AMC. And they are all being utilized to short this shit down. It's where they're getting more shares from to crush this shit down. And then I just wanted to throw Nokia up there just to even further prove this. Just got to look for patterns, similarities. The WW, run up, come up, and then down. And these ones are fucking just always pretty much almost identical. Almost always. And I saw something earlier about the West Christian GoFundMe, and I am not going to, how can I word this? I'm not going to say anything's fake at this point because West Christian came on, live. It was on stream and confirmed that he has been contacted and has discussed retainment for, the purposes of investigating the manipulation into AMC and GME, I would imagine, and all this collectively. And there was a point brought up about Chad09, blah, 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 and his brand new account. Now, I'm just going to offer my insight, my opinion on this, just based on what I know, because I have a lot of ex-military friends, and a lot of them, they don't have Instagrams and Twitters and shit like that. They don't. And Chad's older. If he did 2 tours in Iraq, he's older. He's around my age. And Twitter's not a thing for him. And like me, I made a Twitter account years ago when it first came out. years ago, and I had one, and I never used it. Never used it. I still barely use it. I only started using it again recently here because I was trying to send something to one of the figureheads, trying to get their attention. But of course, they don't care about none of this shit at this point. The majority of them got their money. Um, but yeah, so it's very possible that Chad either lost or forgot his password, or maybe had a Twitter account while he was still in the military and had it connected to a different email. And everyone's on Twitter. Everyone, all the figureheads on YouTube, everybody. I mean, even my age, at least females, but a lot of males too, have Twitters. And then everybody under 30 years old all have Twitter. It's what they all use. Um, Facebook's like a dying thing. That's like the dinosaur of social media. It's like my generation used. I don't even know if any of you guys know what MySpace is. I mean, I'm damn sure know most of you don't even know what AIM was, or even an AOL chat room. But it's very possible that Chad on the fly had to. For anyone who doesn't know what on the fly means, that's like a restaurant term that you need it now or quickly. He possibly forgot his information to log into his Twitter, and maybe he wanted to make the announcement. Him and Wes wanted to announce it because the first people that are going to snatch that up are the ones you want to get the attention of, are obviously the bigger figureheads on YouTube and AMC, and they're all on Twitter. So it's possible he had to create an account very quickly, and he just didn't even care. He just probably had a random account, or when you try to log in and your shit's wrong, or he already had his account, Chad blah blah blah, and then it's like, ooh, that account already exists, so why don't you try one of these, Chad with a bunch of random dumbass numbers that you'd never remember. And he may have just made something real quick or whatever. I don't think that I personally do not think that GoFundMe is any sort of a scam. I have not looked deep into it. I do know that I have once had a GoFundMe that I needed, and if you use those funds for anything other than what you claim they are for, they will freeze the account. They'll bust your ass pretty much, and they'll get that money back. So I haven't read through it. I don't know exactly what it says, but I don't really think that it's any sort of scam or fake. And Chad seems like a fairly smooth-brained ape, like looks like a country boy just hanging out doing his thing, but I'm sure he got fucked by the government, like many of my friends got fucked by the government in that war, and he has an opportunity here to change his life for the better, and now government and big money are fucking him over again. So I don't think it's fake. I don't think that's a fair assessment of the situation. And it is also very possible that maybe he did have another Twitter account, but he didn't want it to get blown the fuck up, like his main Twitter account, once he announced that him and Wes were in talks and this was a real thing. Maybe he wanted to keep his real Twitter profile separate so that it didn't get, bombarded with shit or whatever. A lot of different possibilities. But again, I was looking into that all morning when I saw it. I was literally in every live stream that was on asking these assholes, hey, guys, what's going on with West Christian? What's going on? Did you guys hear about this? Like, and no one's even talking about it. Motherfuckers are ignoring it. And then, like 3 in the afternoon, I was talking about it at 8 in the morning. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, West Christian. I'm talking about these guys. If you don't fucking super chat, most of them are paid. That's what bugs the hell out of me, man. That shit annoys me so much. But yeah. Anyway, I personally believe it's real. There are many reasons why Chad would have a Twitter account that was just recently activated in July. Again, GoFundMe is very, very strict. I know this personally. I have had one. You have to use those funds. If anybody at any time questions what you're using those funds for, GoFundMe can audit your shit. They can look for where every single penny went, everywhere you directed it, all that shit. And if you lied in any way, shape, or form, your ass is fucking grass, like jail and big ass fines, and on top of paying the money back that you took there. So again, it's don't let a bunch of people spread a false narrative. I mean, the gentleman I heard it from, I I typically like because he pushes Charlie's vids, which I always try to do, and I appreciate that when people see other people's DD or talk about other people's DD or use other people's DD. It is very, very important to give credit where credit is due. Um, like there's another dude. This is why I'm moving myself away from a lot of the figureheads in YouTube because they are all becoming about their brand now. All of them are becoming about their brand. It has nothing to fucking do with us. And any of you that want to challenge me on what I'm saying, I will live stream your fucking punk ass. And I already have questions to ask you that are going to embarrass the shit out of you in front of this community. So don't even try me if you watch my shit and you're like, oh, there's this guy out there talking. No, this guy will fucking talk to you. I'll face to face. I'll drive wherever I need to. We can sit down in a fucking coffee shop and live stream our conversation. I don't give a shit because I have questions for a lot of you fucks in what you've been doing in the past couple weeks here. And it's bugging the hell out of me. I get it. I get a lot of what's going on, but I see it. I see it because I'm looking for it, and the community doesn't see it because you're not. You're just looking for hope. A lot of you are just looking for someone to tell you everything's still okay. Don't worry. You're fine. We're going to get through this. That's all anyone wants to hear. They want to hear good news. And a lot of these guys are now at a point to where they're trying to collectively expand their channels to make more money, which I have no problem with, but they need to be transparent and honest with you all. The community is who put them there. The community is the only reason why they have the channels that they have. And if you're like, I just 100% believe in being honest with people that put you in a position like this. Like you only have money right now to talk about going to Ape Fest or whatever, to expand your channels, to try to do these other projects because of this community. And some of the shit's just real sneaky. Like the whole, when everyone's like, oh, drop this in the chat. Oh, let's get this in the chat. That helps them. That monetizes their program. They have quotas that they need to meet for their live chats, for amount of viewers, for having videos watched that they post from start to finish. Obviously, likes, subscribes, all that shit. But again, it's volume. It's all about volume. And the more messages they have in their chat, the bigger the paycheck they get from YouTube. So when these guys are like, oh yeah, drop some blah blah blahs in the chat. Oh, I want to see for the next 3 minutes. Just drop all the, oh, well, tell me where you're from and blah 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 blah. All that is to gain money. And I do not like that none of these guys tell you that. I don't like that that's not disclosed to you. There's a lot of you that really need to Google YouTube contracts, how to make money from YouTube, how to grow your channel, yada yada blah. And when you do that and you start watching your favorite YouTubers, you're going to be like, this motherfucker is just trying to suck money out of us right now, right here. And that's exactly what they're doing. And again, I don't care if any of these guys make money. That's great. That's wonderful. You know, take care of yourself, but you're not going to do it at the expense of a community that just doesn't know what's going on. They're here. A lot of them are fucking scared right now. They don't understand what's happening. And none of you fucking assholes are telling them the truth about anything. You're literally just sitting here sucking more money out of them, using them to make more money. And it's bullshit at the degree you're doing it right now. It is 100% bullshit. And I'm 100% against Ape Fest. It's fucking stupid. I don't know I don't know who put it together. I'm not even looking into it. I'm not giving it any attention. Shit like that, I fucking ignore. You would be wise to do the same. Like when shit pops up out of the blue, guys, when it pops up out of the blue and it's like too good to be true, super exciting, and it came out of nowhere, you should know that that's a fucking trap. You should just know that it is. It's insane to not think that already after watching what you've witnessed the past few weeks and seeing all the FUD and all the bullshit that comes out and all these fucking dumbass stocks that popped up out of nowhere. Oh, check out the newest 20 short squeezes that Your favorite YouTuber and every other DDer and every other analyst completely missed over the past 3-4 months. But we just found 20 of them overnight. Put your money here. Like, stop. Just stop. Stop. That's another issue I have, is so many of these YouTubers are brand new to the stock market. They're as new as you. Just as fucking new as you. They don't know shit about a short squeeze. They don't know what starts it, what causes it, they don't know the recipe. They don't know what it needs. They just know, oh, Ortex, short volume, and these shares got to come back. There's a lot more involved in a short squeeze than just the short interest. The only reason this could be the biggest short squeeze ever is because of how much of this we own. How much retail owns of this shit, and how much institutions have borrowed to put themselves in stupid amounts of debt that they have to pay back, and they have to come to us to get it. That's what makes the potential for this so great. I'm going to make another video talking about a few things later on today. I'll give y'all a break. I know I make longer videos. I'm sorry. I just have a lot to say, and I want to make sure I cover a lot of things. It's just to, I feel the more you know, the better. The more information you guys have, the better. And the more, it's my job, it's my responsibility as one of your fellow apes in this community to share whatever knowledge I have, whatever opinions I have, as long as, I can validate my opinions, why I think that, and not just spit shit out and be like, oh, well, yeah, that's what it is because I said it is. No. I just want to make sure everyone's safe. I am in this to change the market. That is my goal. I want this market changed. I studied this, like I said, for almost 2 years. I paper traded for 6 months before I even put money into my brokerage account. And the shit I read, the shit I've seen, everything going on with this, it needs changed. It absolutely 100% needs changed. We need transparency. It has to be changed. This cannot continue to go on. This is absolutely absurd. This is no longer a game where you have to put on a suit and tie and go down to Wall Street and, stand on the floor hollering out bullshit. I've got big money. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Like, everybody can trade now. Technology, this is one of those things where it's technology always has two sides. Everything always has two sides, but tech especially, for how extravagantly wonderful something can be with tech, like something tech can provide. The flip side is it can be just as bad. It can be used for an equal evil. And we're witnessing it. We are fucking witnessing it. We got instant access to the markets, but they're controlled by the motherfuckers that we're trying to play with, we're trying to equal ourselves with. They control what we're doing in the market. We just have access to it. That's fucking ridiculous. That's insane. That's craziness. But yeah, let me cut this short because it's another 30-minute video. I don't want to turn into one of these YouTubers where I script myself and I sit here and write down hot topics I want to talk about. I want to be as real and honest and just what comes to my mind when I get on here, I click record and I start talking to you guys, and whatever comes out is what comes out. No filter, no bullshit. That's all I want. I want to be as transparent as fucking possible because somebody needs to be in this community. Between the stock market and our own fucking figureheads, transparency is non-existent, and I'm not here for that.